welcome to the continuation of Rudober. And now, without further ado, you boys who have been waiting all night to record this episode of the Rude Boys Power Hour Plus extra spooky episode. Tom and Sherm, take it away, boys. Thank you, Boogeyman. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Sherm, and I have the Shinning.
You mean The Shining?
You want to get sued?
Oh, well.
Who are you?
We all float down here. I am Tom.
That's right, Nation. We are all Stephen Kingified for our big episode honoring the king of horror. You think that's why it's called Stephen King?
Oh, God. No.
Okay. Stephen King. We're talking about Stephen King. So
yes.
All his books, his adaptations, all that stuff, that's going to come later. We're going to have a special guest.
Special guest, it's Bonnie.
Yeah.
It's always Bonnie.
She's always a special guest. What am I doing?
I try to get other people, but yeah, pansies.
Rude Nation, if you reach out, man. We give you at least 2 weeks notice. Really like a week notice before we record. But like, if a topic interests you, let us know.
Except for you, Torino.
There you go. Called out again. He's not going to listen to this one. I don't think Stephen King, I don't think he knows Stephen King.
He probably doesn't even know how to work, Podbean or Twitch or Apple.
I know he doesn't, for a fact.
He's a dumbass.
He's like the most technologically unsavvy, 23-year-old I know. Or however old he is, I don't know. Yeah, well, he's young.
Who acts like a 65-year-old.
I suppose so.
Who's in your mouth?
Who's in my mouth?
Besides,
I've got some 7-Eleven coffee because I've been drinking for several hours and I need a break. Yeah, this is 7-Eleven cold brew coffee with a little pumpkin spice because it's the Rude-tober season and everything is pumpkin. Who's in your mouth, Tommy?
Our good friend Miller Lite, a fine Pilsner beer. There's no established date on the label.
There has to be.
There's not. Anyway, that's who's in my mouth. Only 96 calories.
Awesome. Hey, cheers. Cheers, and let's clink it up to the calories. Oh, boy. I want to give a shout-out to Buffalo Wild Wings, though, for fueling your boys up with some wings and some burrs.
And a Manhattan.
And Tom had a Manhattan, which you can see on my Instagram account. I might have to send those to you so you can post them. But we are deep in Rude-tober, and now
this isn't the Tom podcast.
This is not the Tom podcast.
Yes.
It should be though. Yes. You want to hit up with some Blitzkrieg, Tommy?
Blitzkrieg, get up. You fucking cunt.
I'm so bloated.
Oh. I now realize you made it.
Too bad!
Oh, well. That's not the worst thing I've said.
That's not the worst thing that you've said that's remained on air.
Yeah,
That's what it's saying.
Yeah, true.
The cutting room floor is filthy. Tom, Blitzkrieg, it up, please.
Starting off with games, as per usual.
Yes.
New Brain Age game coming to Switch in December.
Nope. Did you play any of the Brain Age games, Tom? Okay,
I'm dumb.
Cool. All right, well, maybe Brain Age will help.
Probably not.
All right. Yeah, it's coming to Japan. No American release date yet. Yeah, that's
cool.
it. It's got some infrared shit. I don't know.
Good talks.
Yeah,
Good
if
talks.
you like it, get it. I don't know.
All right.
What else? Stop watching AEW.
I can't. It's really good.
All right.
Alpha Dream files for bankruptcy. Who the fuck is Alpha Dream?
Tommy, let me tell you. Alpha Dream is a company that's been partnering up with Nintendo for some years. They made the Mario and Luigi games for the Game Boy Advance and the DS. Oh my god.
Yes.
Tom just got the demons out. Anything,
right.
Tom? He's not paying attention. So I'm going to talk to you, Nation, all right?
Yeah.
Alpha Dream, if you didn't know.
I heard you.
They developed the Mario and Luigi RPG games. Very funny, very cute, very clever RPG games. Personally speaking, they got up to about 4 games, and then they got real long in the tooth. They just got and these fucking games,
I don't know. As soon as Mario RPG, I'm like, cool.
It's different, but we're not getting into that because this is Blitzkrieg news. The problem with this is that they filed for bankruptcy. A lot of this is coming to the fact that they didn't really adapt well enough to the high def market because they've been making for Game Boy and DS and 3DS and they were making remakes and this and they didn't adapt quick enough.
Okay.
It's a shame because the games, definitely the earlier games are super clever. If you could play Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga or its equivalent remake on 3DS, play it. It's a great game. Bowser's Inside Story is great too. Partners in Time is meh. And all the other ones are kind of eh.
Keep it Blitzkrieg.
Sorry, Alpha Dream. Yep.
Kamala Khan in Marvel's Avengers.
This happened. This was some New York Comic Con.
I know. Very little news.
Very little. So there's some new trailers, some new gameplay. It was teased the last Marvel's Avengers trailer that there was that Kamala Khan was in it.
Okay.
And she's in it, playable with her embiggening powers.
The first Inhuman to show up in this game.
Yes. Very good.
We actually have some comic book news.
Right. Okay. Hit it.
Spawn.
I'm just stunned.
Spawn and Todd McFarlane have entered the Guinness Book of World Records.
Okay, how so? Explain.
It is.
As you would a child.
Spawn hit its milestone 300 issue.
Okay.
It is going into the Hall of Fame, the Guinness Book World of Records.
Same difference.
Yeah. Because it's the only character who has been written by the same person for
300 issues, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And never got sold to anyone else or anything, so that's why they're going in.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good for you, Todd McFarlane. You big douche. I don't know. He seems like a douche.
Jesus.
Sorry, Todd.
Oh, Rob Liefeld seems like a douche.
Rob
Rob Liefeld definitely seems more douchey.
Was it Rob that one video we've mentioned this?
Oh my! You love that video.
It's so
you
funny.
Really do.
It's Stan Lee dressing down Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane for making this like ridiculous 15-year-old boy wet dream character of Overkill or something.
Yeah.
Well, Overkill is a real character,
Yeah.
but like some weird like. And they're like, put belts on him and cannons for arms. And then Stan Lee's just like, how does he go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Like, it's very funny.
Marvel and Games Workshop to publish new Warhammer comics.
Okay. That's like a high sci-fi
Warhammer
franchise,
yes.
right?
Yep.
Okay. Is that it?
Mighty Morphin Power
Okay,
Rangers
cool.
and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic coming in December.
All right. That's pretty cool.
I know you were a MMPR guy growing up.
I was,
weren't you?
growing up in like the lore, but then like, just like, I mean, the whole idea of like the Sentai is kind of funny. Like, like the superheroes and different colors.
Sure.
And, like summoning animals and robots and shit like that. Like, it's cool. It's classic Japan. Is that coming? I hope that's coming through.
I do too. It's my gift to myself.
Absolute silence.
Sorry, nothing in movies.
Okay. Which is weird.
We're going to
Whatever.
TV now.
Okay, TV news.
Stranger Things Season 4 officially announced.
Yes, they are not in Hawkins anymore, as is the tagline.
Ooh. Maybe they're all going to the Upside Down.
I'm sorry,
Russia.
Nation, we're recording in a tap dance training studio. I really do apologize. Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, you're good. Keep going.
I'm always fine. Rick and Morty Season 4 starts November 10th.
Yep. And I think at least they got like 5 episodes in the can ready to go. Mm-hmm. Cool.
What a way to
more Rick and Morty stuff.
What a way to ruin my birthday week.
Why are you not a fan of Rick and Morty? I feel like you just never
was.
Did you? Give it was
forced. It was forced upon me.
It needs to be a little more. You need to watch it casually and just like.
Yeah, that would never happen. So.
Yeah, I know you're stubborn as a bitch.
I don't like. It's like I keep getting told to watch that show on Netflix, Big Mouth.
That just looks like crap.
And like my feelings on Nick Kroll. I
feel like you could say my feelings on blank. I'm like, okay, cool. You hate that motherfucker.
Like him.
All right, that's fine. That's nothing really to like. I mean, it's like a born douche.
Yeah. Wrestling news. All right. Master P owns House of Glory.
This came out of fucking nowhere.
Maybe he could buy. God. Maybe he could buy some fucking ropes that will actually hold during an Irish whip, because that was fucking horseshit when we went.
That's really funny.
Yeah, I you know what we're gonna say on the wrestling topic, and
all right, let's do it.
Wednesday nights is the night to watch if you're a wrestling fan. You have AEW Dynamite on TNT. And you have WWE NXT on USA.
Yep. 2 hours of each program.
Yeah, and then you actually have NXT on the network on Friday.
Sure.
that's when it jumps over.
Right. Anyone, obviously, who's interested in AEW, please listen to our previous Wrestle special, which came out, I believe, last week or 2 weeks as per posting. Tom basically gives a quick refresher on All Elite Wrestling, the day of the debut of TNT.
It was really
on
good.
Dynamite. What the fuck?
AEW Dynamite
I was
on
going to say
TNT.
WWE, but that's wrong. AEW.
It was very cool.
On TNT.
It was
Wednesday.
refreshing.
Night Dynamite. I'm done.
It was a refreshing thing to watch.
Good. I'm glad.
Then, after the debacle that is Raw now.
Oh, hang on a second. Are you getting ahead of yourself, Tommy?
I know,
You wanted to smooth right in there? No, we still got the big Blitz.
Yeah.
Later, but there's still some more stuff to talk about. All right, we're going to get into that. Hold on to your horses, Tommy.
All right. Essential news.
Okay.
Stan the Man lead to get a Marvel Legends figure,
Yep.
which this is very cool because it comes with the Captain America shield with his signature on it.
Right.
I believe he's holding Thor's hammer. And I think Spider-Man's mask is somewhere. Or he's wearing a web
I
shooter.
don't know, I just saw that was a thing. So.
God knows how much that will be.
I mean, it's a yeah.
You know what, though?
It's probably gonna be like a
You know what they
big
could-
bad Toy Store exclusive or something. Like that.
Or you know what they may do? They might release because it's a it's Marvel Legends, so they could release a whole bunch of new ones, and he'll be a Build-A-Figure.
That would be
Fucking
cool.
monstrous
I don't know about
Stanley.
that.
That would be
That'd be
correct.
ridiculous.
Well, dude, that's the only way to do those Build-A-Figures.
Oh my god! I know the rest of the. I'm still bloated from B-Dubs. The delicious chicken nuggets. I know the rest of that wave includes a modern interpretation of the Fantastic Four. I think
Okay.
Dan Slott's run, including Doctor Doom,
Which
Savage, She-Hulk,
yes,
and Warpath and Sunspot
and it's weird because they give
Deadpool is his name.
they give fucking Invisible Woman auburn hair instead of blonde hair. The paint looks not too
All right,
good.
they're prototypes. What can I tell you? But anyway, yeah, Stanley's getting a figure. That's what it's all about.
I'm just giving you my feelings. You don't need to
I don't
shoot
want
me
your
down.
feelings.
So, yeah, that's it for regular Blitzkrieg. And now time for the Big Blitz.
The Big Blitz, Tom.
What's the Big Blitz, Chris?
Is the Big Blitz, could it be the announcement that the PlayStation 5 from Sony Computer Entertainment Software is coming out holiday 2020? I think it is. I think that's the Big Blitz.
Ooh, man, that's huge.
It is huge, but it's also I would say the worst kept secret because Microsoft already said that the new Xbox is coming out holiday 2020.
Yeah.
So obviously Sony needs to step it up.
Yeah.
There is talk about there was some reveal. Oh, hello. There was some reveal. This is gonna sound weird. There was some reveal about the controller is kind of ditching more current Rumble technology and using this weird haptic feedback. So there's different tensions within the triggers and the buttons and stuff like that. Kind of similar to what I understand the Switch is HD Rumble, just different frequencies and different portions of the controller rumble at different parts. We already know it's gonna be backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4, which is really makes that less of a harder pill to swallow. A softer pill to swallow.
And I do know that they dropped the price point because originally they were saying that this could be $1,000.
They didn't say anything about price.
I saw something that said that it was kind of probably be in the $500-$600 range.
I mean, I'd imagine so, yeah. But the last time they did that, when they fucking pushed out the PlayStation 3, and it was a friggin' bomb that went off. It's got to be that affordable range, but yes, it also has to show that that technology has advanced. You have your ray tracing and your photorealistic stuff and your solid state drives and all this other stuff.
Sure.
Really, that's what the next generation really, to me, matters. Graphics, I don't give a fuck about. Load times, get rid of them. I don't want any load times ever. It's a matter of sharing stuff, ease of use. That's all I want. Ease of use.
Give me games with good stories and less DLC.
You'll get that, but from a technological standpoint,
I don't care about that. I want good games and less DLC.
You have that now.
No,
okay?
I don't.
Didn't you play God of War?
The new one?
Yeah.
No.
Great story, no DLC.
For now.
There hasn't been in at least a year and a half. They haven't announced it. It ain't gonna happen.
It's a trap.
Oh my god. You need to stop acting like a victim. Alright? You need to start embracing.
No, it's a conspiracy.
medium.
I'm a conspiracist.
Yeah, you're a conspiracy victim, is what you are.
So that's it?
That's it for the Big Blitz. You got anything else to add for PlayStation 5 news? You excited?
Yeah, I am. I am.
You gonna get one day of?
No, I don't buy systems day of.
Yeah.
I
Smart man.
I wait until
I am a stupid man.
Yes, you are.
Yep. We all know this.
Yes,
Yes.
I understand. You're the dumb.
That's it.
That's it. Bye. Time for Tom's dud of the show. And that goes to our good friends at the WWE. Your storylines are just the worst now. You know, I don't know what the hell you're doing with Bobby Lashley and Rusev. Like, Rusev deserves so much better than what you're doing to him. That Hell in a Cell pay-per-view was god awful. Why would you have red light? Why would you have red light on top of a red cage? It just didn't look bad. It just didn't look good, rather. And a DQ during a cell match, and then on SmackDown, your big premiere on Fox, you take the belt off of Kofi Kingston and you put it back on that fucking undeserving motherfucker Brock Lesnar.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, WWE, the best thing you got going for you is NXT, and that's because Triple H. Triple H, do not let that old man Vince near your baby. If he is, I want you to pedigree him straight to hell. Bye! Tom's dud of the show.
Tom, what did the one rude boy use as fake blood on the other rude boy?
Soy sauce?
No.
Ketchup?
Yes!
Hot sauce?
No, you had it right the first time.
Oh.
You had it right the second time, actually. Ketchup! Rude Boys Ketchup. Let's catch up with your boys, Rude Nation.
Alright, cool.
Tom, it's Rudetober.
Yes.
The holiday season. The holiday season. We are not going to necessarily talk about our Rudetober things going on right now.
Okay, cool.
Because we have our next episode is going to be a Rudetober recap.
Okay.
All the stuff, all the horror movies or spooky video games we all played. We're going to talk about that next episode.
Okay.
So, not Rudetober stuff. What have you been up to?
I have been doing some reading.
Okay. Excellent.
Trying to get myself to not be illiterate as much.
Okay.
I read Onslaught Volume 1.
I saw this on the notes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's the Onslaught Epic Collection Volume 1. Apparently I think there's like 3 collections.
I think maybe 3 or 4. I think I own them.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Onslaught that hit like late 90s or early 2000s,
right, yeah.
and I was just like, give me this. That was like my first probably big
event.
big Marvel Comics event. Like, obviously, the Clone Saga, Age of Apocalypse notwithstanding.
Right,
this was the
right.
big one that brought in everyone.
Sure,
in
yeah.
comics. The first one, for me at least.
It was really good. Like, I mean, it went into, like, everything. Like, the whole, like, Juggernaut, like, running to Jean Grey for help. Right. There were moments between Bishop and Gambit because, remember, Bishop came back to stop the traitor,
right?
Thinking it was Gambit, and Beast is captured by Dark Beast. So Dark Beast is actually with the X-Men.
Sure, yeah.
But they don't know because he looks like Beast. Which I don't know how he changes his fur because Dark Beast was gray.
He's a fucking scientist.
Yeah, I know.
I'd have to imagine that.
All right, calm down.
So people who don't know about Onslaught though, it was like an X-Men storyline that spun out into the greater Marvel Comics.
Right.
universe.
It was actually a story that started from Fatal Attractions.
Yep.
because when Professor Xavier wiped...
Big time spoilers for a fucking 15, 20-year-old
Yeah.
comic series.
So when Professor Xavier wiped Magneto's mind, the evil piece of Magneto went into Professor X.
Right, and it lay dormant for
Years and years and years and years.
No, just years.
Huh?
No, just years.
And years.
And that was it.
Yes.
Right.
So, like, you know, and then this is also the time where you have Cannonball's part of the X-Men here. He left that, he graduated from X-Force and he's on the X-Men now.
Oh, good for him.
Wolverine is more animalistic.
Right, he's feral because of the adamantium removal process.
Yeah, let's call it the adamantium removal.
I mean, it was.
It was straight up savage, ripping out. Yeah, it was rough.
Right.
It was just very cool. Like, you know, seeing Cyclops like being like, wow, okay, so the guy who's like my father is this big bad who's just looking to kill us all. So yeah, I anyone who, you know, to me this is definitely one of the big X-Men stories.
Right, but then I said, it spins into...
I'd say, you know, it goes Fatal Attractions. This, and honestly, I even say the 12 storyline.
Right.
The 12 was pretty significant. I've also been reading Batman.
I'm
sorry.
Talk back to Onslaught. I'm sorry. Where does the first chapter of the collection? Where does that end you off to?
It ends with he's like trying to befriend
Franklin. Right. So Reed and Sue Richards' kid, the Fantastic Four. Yeah. The child of the Fantastic Four.
Obviously, you know, Onslaught's already attacked the X-Men, and now the X-Men are just like...
Yeah, because he's looking for, like-minded psychic people to basically reorganize the world or something like that. And so he captures, I believe, Nate Gray, eventually, and Franklin.
Yep.
Because they're super psychic powers.
He just wanted to fully take Cable off the board.
Sure, because I'm sure he saw him as a threat, yeah.
And then that also had the story of Cable versus Hulk.
Okay.
And
oh my god, I remember that single issue.
With the awesome art of Ian Churchill.
Right, because I think Hulk was like, I think ripped between... No, he wasn't yet.
Well, the reason he was able to talk like Professor Hulk was because Onslaught was in his mind.
Right, but he was like also savage a little bit, because I remember that art specifically. Like,
he was savage if Onslaught allowed him to be savage.
Right.
This also had, like, you know, a very awesome moment between Cable and Storm. Like, Storm's trying to, like, resuscitate him with her lightning.
Right.
And, like, you know, she, like, admits her feelings for Cable.
Okay.
Apparently, Cable's a stud. He just, like... Every X-Woman, with the exception of Jean Grey, just wants to get...
Yikes. That'd be
wants
weird.
to get on that techno-organic dick. Like, just insane. Title of the episode.
You know why? Probably fucks like a machine.
Ah. So when you're fucking him, is it a Rage Against the Machine?
Oh, God. Wow.
We can keep going.
You were also reading You were reading a Batman...
Batman
book?
Batman the White Knight.
Okay.
So this starts with... You see this guy going to Arkham. And Batman is chained in a cell in Arkham. And he goes... Batman, my name is Jack Napier. I need your help.
Okay. Jack Napier's the dude who turned into the Creeper, right?
No.
Who am I thinking of?
Well, I don't know the Creeper's real name,
okay.
Jack Napier was the Joker.
Oh, right. That
so,
name. Okay.
Then it goes to a flashback.
Well, that's one of the presumed aliases.
Yes.
I'm sure this is where you're going through. Okay.
So then it goes to a flashback where it's Joker leading Batman in a Joker scheme.
Okay.
Like,
classic.
And like,
open up this Jack in the Box.
Right.
Batman.
Like
this is pretty good, right? Man, it's like it was right here.
Yeah. Maybe if it was the
Mark
Jared
Hamill,
Leto one.
sit down. I'm coming for you.
No, you're not. So
Get my gas gun, Harley!
Are you done?
I could go on, but you know what? Yeah. I don't want to put Mark Hamill to shame. I'm sorry, Mark. Mark, you're great. Thank you for supporting the podcast for all this time.
Don't put my ears to shame.
Sit the fuck down, all right? I'm coming for you. I mean, get your lunch out, put it on the table. I'm eating it. Go ahead, Tom.
Wow, calling out Mark Hamill, an American treasure.
He really is. I hate to do it, but I'm just better at you than the Joker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. Never mind. So it goes to a flashback where Joker is leading him, and like Batman's just like, he's driving on rooftops and just destroying like these houses and stuff on the with the Batmobile. He destroys a construction site. He leads him into this like pharmaceutical warehouse where Batman just beats the fuck out of him, and then all of a sudden Batman just like takes like these pill bottles and starts shoving them down Joker's throat.
Okay. And
then all this, like, Joker is in the hospital. And, I'm sorry, am I boring you?
Sorry. Just continue.
Discontinue?
Just continue.
So, he recovers, and now he's Jack Napier.
Okay.
He doesn't have the makeup or anything. He goes to one of his old hideouts, and you see Harley. But it's more like the Suicide Squad Harley.
Okay.
And so then, like, you have, and then all of a sudden she just gets hit, and you see classic Harley in the Jester outfit. And she's just like, I loved you, but you were more obsessed with, Batman.
Sure.
And he's just like, how could you love me? I was a sick, sadistic, abusive psychopath to you.
Right.
And then, like, they end up being together, running together. He ends up mind controlling all of the super criminals, like Two-Face, Bane, by inviting them all to a round table. And he has Mad Hatter Tech with him. But the way he was able to get... Because you know how with Mad Hatter, like, he had to slip you a card in order. But the way he did this was he had Clayface have a card. He grind Clayface down and put them in all of their drinks.
Jesus
So Christ. He was able to control them. Neo Joker, who was the Harley that he was with the Suicide Squad Harley.
Okay.
Winds up getting control of the baddies.
Okay.
The super criminals.
Okay. So
then Jack Napier runs for city councilman.
Okay.
He gets it, and then he wants Batman brought to justice.
Okay.
For various shit that's happened.
Sure.
And he talks to Commissioner Gordon, and he's like, "How come Batman has all of these wonderful toys, but yet has never given them to the Gotham City Police?" He's like, think of how many lives that would have saved, and which it makes sense if you think about it.
It goes against the infrastructure of Gotham City.
No, but you know what I mean. It does. If you think about it, it does make sense. So they start this thing called the Gotham Terrorist Operation.
Okay.
It's like an terrorist group, and Batgirl and Nightwing end up joining. So they end up arresting Batman.
Okay.
But then, and apparently Mr. Freeze was, really good friends with Thomas Wayne.
Okay.
Thomas Wayne, paid for his wedding to Nora. Right, but he got killed before he could actually go.
Right.
For reasons. A bullet in a dark alley. And, yeah.
Imagine if it was like, oh shit, we gotta get out of this play. We have a wedding to go to.
Right, yeah.
Bam!
So, that's
why Mr. Freeze really turned evil, because he was just like, my good friend Thomas Wayne didn't show up to my wedding, so I'm gonna...
Well, the thing was, and then a lot of people were thinking the Waynes... A lot of people were thinking that the Waynes had ties to the Nazis because they brought a lot of, Nazi scientists over to, use the their knowledge to try to help Gotham, but Victor Freeze's father was one of them.
Victor Freeze. Okay.
But he was more like, no, I want to use all this stuff for weapons, not to help people. And Victor Freeze was like, but that's not the way we should be doing things. So yeah, it's a really good read.
Okay. It sounds like it's pretty well in depth.
Yeah, and like there's this one
part throughout all the different Batman characters.
And there's this one part where like eventually they get access to Batman's technology, so they make a whole bunch of Batmobiles.
Oh. Okay.
And you see, but there's one part where they're chasing Batman, and you see the Michael Keaton Batmobile. You see Nightwing is driving the animated series Batmobile. The 1966 Batmobile is in the background, and the Tumbler is in the is there
cool.
too.
That's pretty cool.
It's honestly 4 out of 5. 5 stars out of 5 stars. 5 stars.
5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
All right.
It was very well written. I would probably go.
That's it. Like it's just a self-contained thing. Oh, okay, great.
I'll probably buy a physical copy.
Nice. All right. Cool.
It was very good.
Good. I'm glad.
What have you been up to, my friend?
I've been finishing up The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Switch. Again, yes, because it's I played through it. It took me a good 4 days.
Okay.
And then I went back and played it in hero mode, which is
Unlike
no heart drops. It was a short enough game that I thought I could bang it out. Plus, it was close enough to the start of Rootober that I thought I could get it in one more time before spooky game season.
Sure.
Which unfortunately didn't happen yet. We'll get to that next episode. But I did play through Link's Awakening again.
Okay.
All the heart pieces, all the secret seashells, all the items.
All the what?
0 deaths, all the items.
No. The secret
Seashells?
Secret seashells?
Secret seashells.
Secret seashells. Fuck.
Secret seashells.
Secret seashells.
I see. That's so funny because you tried to bait me to make me fuck up, and you just can't say it once.
Oh, eat a dick.
Secret seashells.
Secret seashells.
See, you had it, and you just kept going.
Now say it 5 times fast.
Secret seashells. Secret seashells. Secret seashells. Secret seashells. Secret seashells. Go ahead. You say it twice.
Secret seashells. Secret seashells. Secret sea. Fuck.
You had it twice. Good. All right. Cool. Anyway, I beat the
I
game.
can sleep tonight. Woo, my bad.
I beat the game again, and I moved on. I thought I was going to do some of the dungeon creator mode, the Dompe challenges, but man, I just don't want to. So,
is Ganon a big fat pig in this?
Ganon is not a big fat pig. He does not. He is referenced. He does not show up.
Oh, don't you gotta fight one of his wizards?
No, this is a.
Oh, you gotta fight a wizard.
A wizard? No, this is like kind of a side story to it. This one doesn't deal with Ganon specifically. It deals with the Windfish. It deals with the Nightmare.
Windfish!
Yep. So you should play it, Tom. You like the top-down Zeldas. And this was a good one. You should play this.
Okay.
I'll let you borrow it.
Okay.
Cool.
Maybe after Rootober. Because
Luigi's Mansion is coming up.
Well, yeah. Hopefully.
Excuse me. But that's all I've been up to.
Cool.
That is not Rootober related. And again, Nation, our Rootober escapades will be in further detail next episode of the podcast. But this episode, like we said earlier in the episode that this episode is part of, is all going to be about Stephen King. So we are now going to throw it to ya boys and Bonnie in the future, and they're going to throw it back to us in the past, or the present right now. Not yet, I'm not ready. Okay, so this is some 1922 bullshit. What is that, James Franco? 1912? What is it?
11/22/63.
That's it. So get
ready. I still have yet to watch.
Hey. Save it for the future, past, present, in our Stephen King talk. Thank you, past rude boys from the past. This is now the present future, but the past that you're listening to right now. Anyway, this is the Stephen King Talk. Thank you for the intro, boys. We are now joined mysteriously by the specialist of guests, Bonnie.
Hello.
From the Polite Girls.
The only-
We needed a ringer because, you got the horror movies, Tom. You ain't getting books out of me, so we needed someone with who's a little literate on the cast. So
I know.
That would be my lovely girlfriend.
I think me and your girlfriend have both been trying to get you to be literate.
For
No,
years.
it doesn't happen.
I
Yeah,
know.
you guys can't do it. The courts can't do it. Schools can't do it. It's
I think
modern medicine.
I think graphic novels might be your niche. That might be your niche.
That's as far as I go. Pretty pictures.
I
So
saw him read the back of a book once. I cried.
it was beautiful.
because he was moving his lips.
Well, turning out loud is hard, man. Hard to
He got it all
sound
wrong.
the words out. The book was upside down.
Oh,
But enough out of me. Let's hear it from you guys, all right? Stephen King, the king of horror. We've been celebrating him on the social medias as of recording. So go check out our Twitter and Instagram for all that stuff. But yeah, this was an audible out of you, Tom. You wanted to talk about Stephen King.
Yeah.
Because he's an icon in the horror genre, both his books and the movies and the television shows that are based off the books.
especially since this is Rootober, so this
Yep.
this is actually I feel a perfect topic for Rootober.
Sure, yeah, can't do this in April.
Well, you
I mean,
can.
you could, but
You can do whatever the hell you want. Rootober is year round.
I guess so. Yeah.
It don't fucking matter.
So Stephen King, let's casual conversation. How do you want to start it? Books. He is an author.
He is indeed an author.
So what are some of the books that y'all have read, horror wise? Really, I mean, we'll stick it to the horror genre because it is Rootober, like Tom has mentioned.
Well, I've read about 7 of his books, and they're not
More than I
all
have.
horror.
Okay.
So I did just write them down. So I've read Everything's Eventual, which is a book of short stories.
Okay.
To
Is
be
it
honest,
lovely or is it spooky?
No, it's spooky.
Okay, cool.
To be honest, I don't remember it that well. It was years ago that I read it, but I do remember one that always stuck out to me, which was about a man who every single hole in his body started to close until basically he was like writing like in a diary. So it started off, he was playing tennis with his friend, and his friend was like, "Wow, you're not breaking a sweat." And he was like, "He's right, that's weird." And it turned out like his pores were closing.
Jesus.
And
That's
then
weird.
like the holes in his ears started closing in his eyes, his nose, etc. And his wife left him because she just couldn't deal, and he was like soon.
Good woman.
Yeah, he was. I think basically he had like a tiny bit left of his mouth that he could still breathe out of, and he couldn't see anymore. And he was like, soon, I won't be able to eat, drink,
Right.
or breathe.
Right.
And that's basically how that story ended. And I remember that one always kind of like
Is he all
freaked
right?
me out. Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
good.
So,
Funny
Happy
thing.
ending, happy
funny
ending.
thing about it, Everything is Eventual. That actually turned up in a movie that the three of us watched, Final Destination 2. That's what the son was reading.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's funny. Yes, I read that. I've read Carrie, which is
That's a Carrie.
Yeah, it's a classic horror
It is
tale.
a classic. I've also seen the movie. I adore the movie. The original was Sissy Spacek.
Yes. Yeah.
Hated the book. I hated it.
Funny story about the movie is that movie came out, I think, 77, I think?
Sure.
I want to say like 77, 78. My mom and my dad went to go see it. They couldn't find a sitter, so they were those people that brought a 1-year-old to a movie, i.e. my older brother. And the part where the hand comes up, apparently my older brother went flying. Because, because my mom was like, "Holy shit!" and threw him up in the air.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Similarly, when my mom saw it with her dad, she threw her popcorn at her father as well as whoever was sitting behind her at that same scene.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she didn't throw a baby. So,
Yeah, it's a baby.
so our moms have a lot of similarities, a lot of differences.
Sure.
But yeah, back
Yours
to
throws popcorn, mine throws human beings.
Yeah.
Same
so
thing.
back to the book, I think it's probably because I grew up, like I saw that movie when I was little, and I've always loved it. I've seen it several times. The ending was different, like the way the mom died and everything was all different. Whatever. I liked the movie better, but mostly I was disappointed because they didn't really get into the prom scene, which is the most iconic scene in the movie. But of course, since I'd seen the movie before I ever read the book, I was expecting like this big epic,
Right.
like in detail scene where she like goes nuts on everybody. You didn't get that. They were just talking about it, so I was bored out of my head.
I've heard the same thing
I'm sure
from several people.
if I'd never seen the movie and I read the book, I'd probably like have loved it, but that wasn't the case for me.
And even the remake of Carrie wasn't bad.
Which one?
With Chloe.
Oh, the more recent.
Yeah.
remake?
No,
I
I
don't know if
didn't. I think we
catch
saw
that.
like a minute of it and we hated
Maybe?
it.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay.
I don't. Not really usually a fan of remakes, but not always. It's not always the case.
Well,
but
Stephen King and his movies are ripe for remakes, which I'm sure we'll get to.
Very
And
true.
Sure, yes, we will.
the movie portion.
I've seen the miniseries The Stand, which to this day I'll never be okay with the fact that cast Molly Ringwald in it. But Gary
feel like
Sinise.
every
Yep,
time-
I was just
time
gonna
you're on
say
that-
Gary Sinise.
Gary Sinise is-
awesome as Stu.
I think he could play anybody in the world and I'd be happy with it, but I just can't picture anyone else as Stu. So
Absolutely. Well,
the book
yeah.
is my absolute top favorite Stephen King book. I think it was so good.
Yeah, it's definitely in my top 3. I would have to say.
Okay. What else is in your top 3? Putting you on the spot.
It is number 1. And man, shit, it's a toss between Salem's Lot and 11/22/63.
Okay.
But if we're just talking horror,
Right.
I would have to say it would probably go It, The Stand, Salem's Lot.
Okay, sure.
So I actually have not read It or Salem's Lot.
Ooh, good ones.
I've also read Thinner, and I saw the movie, which the movie was
Wow.
that's
We
one
did
of the
see this.
movies where it's like they get everything right, but
Really?
it still wasn't good. You know, like
It was in that same time
the
period.
acting wasn't
Yeah,
great.
No, absolutely.
The CGI or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Trash,
It was like,
you know,
it was
but-
like TV movie style.
Exactly.
where It was kind of budget. It
But
was in
they
the same
did get all the
vein.
details pretty much exactly right. I think
Right.
the only difference was, if I could recall correctly, in the movie, the wife was cheating on the husband. In the book, he was just paranoid that she was cheating on him.
Okay.
I don't think she actually was. So that wasn't something that I
Yeah.
cared about. But and then I've also read Cell, which is probably my second favorite Stephen
Really?
King book,
Okay,
even though I know a lot of people don't like it.
I want to get back onto it because I did start reading it, and I couldn't. At that point in time, I wasn't a very big reader, and I was just like, I can't get into this, and I do because I want to get back into it because honestly, it does show you, I guess I want to say the badness of technology.
Yeah.
Because
So this isn't about the Dragon Ball Z villain?
no, what it is, it's pretty much about some sort of like frequency. It was some sort of frequency that went off, and everyone that picked up their cell phones became
A zombie.
became a zombie.
So realistic.
And I
have to
think
say.
John Cusack
Goodness
was in the
gracious.
movie.
Yes, unfortunately.
They could update this in a heartbeat.
Not a John Cusack fan, huh?
I think he's fine. I don't think he's
All that?
spectacular. And also, the little bit that I did see of that movie, I thought it was total crap.
Okay.
I hated it. I'll never watch it. And I do apologize. So, Cell is actually my third favorite Stephen King book. It's my second favorite Stephen King horror.
Okay.
Because I've also read The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger, which I was just saying to you before we started recording, I did think was very good. I'm not interested in continuing the series because I feel like it's just really for boys.
Yeah,
Like, that's kind of like...
It
It was gross. You know, like the
Yeah.
scene where he's like hooking up with the fat pussy
Yeah.
lady. It was disgusting.
and like I said, it's more sci-fi than
Yeah.
horror. Well, if you have a active brain, your imagination won't run wild.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Or will, or you could picture it, a different way. But my second favorite book of all time by Stephen King is Eyes of the Dragon, which was my favorite until I read The Stand. Eyes of the Dragon is fantastic. It's
Okay.
not horror, but I highly
Okay.
recommend it. I know
Yeah.
you would love it, Chris, but whatever.
Read it.
My
How many
ex-boyfriend...
pages is it?
It's not long. My ex-boyfriend, I was telling him about it. He wasn't a big reader also. Actually, as a matter of fact, he was quite dumb. I lent it
You're
to
not.
him.
You're a prince.
Oh, thank you.
I lent it to him.
It's nice hearing it from one of you.
And when we when we broke up, I asked for it back, and he had borrowed it from me without reading it for so long that he was convinced it was his own book. And I was like, no,
Jesus
actually, it
Christ.
belongs to my sister. So if I could get that back. And he was like, no, it's my book. And he insisted on keeping it. So I never got it back. So one of these days I'm going to buy it again because I would love to reread that one. I really liked it. It had like some twists and shit.
Okay.
Interesting.
And yeah, like there was like
But
just
not
some...
horror, so
Right, sorry.
shut up.
Okay.
It's all about the horror.
That's why I don't call him a prince.
Yeah, I mean, I do I do a lot of Stephen King on Audible.
Okay.
I like him, but sometimes I just feel his books are just way too much for me. Like, I'm not a strong reader.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love reading, but I'm not a strong reader at all. And it was read fantastically by the great Steven Weber. If you ever watched the show Wings,
Nope.
Steven Weber, he was in that The Perfection. He was the guy.
The rapey guy.
Yes, that's Steven Weber.
Spoiler alert.
He wrote.
yeah.
We're gonna be talking about the collection on
Okay.
next episode.
The Perfection.
The Perfection. Sorry. He read it and he does the voices.
What did he read?
The book by Stephen King called It.
Oh, okay, there you go.
'Cause I'm not playing this fucking Who's on First shit.
Just waiting for that.
He does all the voices fantastic, like Bill Stutter, and like the voice he uses for Pennywise is just so like it's so eerie. Like that one, like there were a lot of times I was listening to it, I was like, holy fuck, oh really? No shit, oh that's crazy. Like I just recently rewatched the 1990s miniseries, and there are definitely a lot of aspects of the book in that. There's also a lot of aspects in the book of the newer ones too.
Okay.
Nothing's ever perfect from book to movie.
Yeah.
We know this, like, because if you want to get it to be perfect, it would be a 20-part movie. Like,
Which, I mean, this sounds like, Tom, a perfect segue to talk about his adaptations. 'Cause
Absolutely.
we're talking about adapting his written word
Mm-hmm.
to the visual
medium.
Picture.
Visual medium.
Sure.
To the talkies.
To the talking pictures. Yeehaw!
Oh, these moving pictures. Look at them go. So yeah,
Christ.
this is all like anything adapted for TV or the movies or a television movie or
Movie.
anything like that.
Why do you keep saying it like movie?
I don't know. So, what have you guys seen? Watched
Well, as
visually
I said,
with your eyes.
the 1990s. I think I've said it to you guys. You guys weren't big fans of it, right?
Right. I never actually. Okay, so I never saw the
I liked it
original
when I saw it,
first
but
half.
I knew it was kind of
Okay.
campy. I thought.
Well, it's
So I've seen the second half of the 1990s
Okay.
one, and I saw the first one of these newer ones.
okay.
I didn't care for the original ones. I thought Pennywise seemed like a joke, and
Oh man,
Right.
Tim Curry though plays it
I love
so
Tim Curry,
good.
but I don't know. I thought it was just like
Well,
weird.
that's the whole thing. Is that like Pennywise? He puts these, I don't want to say the word seduce, but like he's like trying to put these kids into a false sense of security. So of course he's gonna kind of be dopey and like
Well, like I said, I didn't see the first half, so maybe if I did, it would make more
Alright.
sense to me. But yeah, I didn't care for
I
it.
think you had the DVD.
I had the box. I don't know what the disc is.
Okay.
It's one of those classic things during the years. They're
Well,
just like,
you know
oh,
what? I
should
mean,
win.
if you guys are interested in it, I'll bring it over one day. We'll
Maybe.
we'll make a whole day of it.
Let's
Sure.
make our plans when we're not filming a podcast. So recording a podcast.
Oh my every time. This
We're
is
not a
hard.
visual medium yet.
Thank God. Just kidding.
say
So, yeah, but I did like this newer one, except I had a lot of issues with it. For example, I know it was like directed or whatever, or produced by the same guy who directed Mama, which was
Oh,
a
yeah?
horror movie that
Okay.
came out a few years ago,
Oh.
which looked really cool until you actually watched it. And the monster, like the Mama, was so freaky looking, but they showed her 9,000 times to the point
Right.
that it was just comical.
I'm
Right.
thinking of Ma. Okay.
Nah.
Right. That's
So was I.
That's how I felt
right.
about Bill Skarsgård, my boy. Bill Skarsgård, who I've loved for years. But that's how I felt about him in this movie. Was like they just showed it too much for it to be creepy anymore.
I agreed with that. I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was visually very striking. Like a lot of the scenes they showed were cool, but like it wasn't scary.
Yeah, because like they overdid it.
Yes.
Yes.
I know the actors are children, but I feel like they weren't great. Like there was a scene where Pennywise is coming out of a projector to attack them, and they're like, where like they should be pissing themselves. You know what I mean? Like they just didn't seem like genuinely
That's
scared.
why I kind of feel the 1991
like
got things slightly more correct than than this one. I mean, in this new one, in the remake, I mean, the thing that bugged me the most was like in the original Richie's like fear was they went to go see a werewolf movie, and like he's imagining himself getting chased by a werewolf, and in this one it's obviously clowns, and I'm like, I don't know. I was just like, I kind of wish they would have kept like with like a classic monster of sorts. Yeah. Clowns just seem like too easy as a bait.
Like nobody's like biggest fear is clowns.
No, I know some people. No, well, I know some people whose biggest fear are clowns.
Well, those people are clowns themselves.
Hence why I'm single. Haha.
My other issue with this newer, it was like that first scene with the little boy. I can't remember anybody's name. Georgie. Him and his brother. What's his brother's name?
Bill.
Bill is like, oh, I'll show you how to make a paper boat. And they had this like really overly wholesome scene together before the kid got killed. And I believe in the original they had a fight, right?
Well, in the original, what it was, Bill was sick. And he, Georgie was being the annoying little brother.
Right.
Where he was just like, come out. He goes, no, I'm sick. Get out of here, you little booger. And so he makes him the paper boat, writes the SS Georgie on it, and gives it to him, and he's running it down, and goes down the sewer grate, and they do...
Nothing bad happens.
No. Everything is fine.
Yes.
They do explain some... elaborate a little more in It Chapter 2. I don't want to say too much because you guys haven't seen it yet.
Seen what?
Stephen King's It Chapter 2.
Okay.
Just like that scene, like watching it, it felt like so forced.
Sure.
So it like immediately right off the bat, it kind of like gave me a bad taste.
I will say though, the adult cast for Chapter 2 was pretty fantastic.
Okay, I know there's like a lot of big names in there. Bill Hader.
Bill Hader plays Richie.
Okay.
Which is Finn Wolfhard's character, so that's a cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
James McAvoy plays Bill.
Okay.
And Jessica Chastain plays Beverly.
Okay.
And the guys that played Eddie and Ben, really, I don't know them from anything else, so I'm kind of hoping to see them in more stuff.
Okay.
Cool.
But there are other movies.
Sorry, I'm playing with it.
You're killing me.
I get fussy.
You know what? Let's talk about his Stephen King's least favorite film adaptation of one of his books, The Shining.
Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. This I did say. Okay.
This is
now I can talk.
Yeah, this is one of his least favorite adaptations.
Did either of you guys read or listen to the source material?
See the thing.
Okay, so
The Shining. Wow. The Shining is it's definitely on my list. I mean, I think that one I could probably read because I don't think it's like one of those monstrous ones.
Imagine it being that.
Yeah.
It's just a guy's
who the hell knows?
Madness.
I didn't think Salem's Lot. I didn't think Salem's Lot would be big, and I was like, holy shit, there's a lot. That it's like a 400-page book.
So I did hear that he was not a fan of that adaptation.
No. Because I think he didn't like the way Stanley Kubrick did things.
Kubrick's a bit of an auteur.
Yeah.
Back in his day when he was alive. So he's definitely dead.
I personally loved it.
Yeah, and so did I.
I think most people really liked it.
That was my second movie I saw with Jack Nicholson. The first one, obviously, 1989 Batman.
Yes.
Could not think of the Cuckoo's Nest.
Could not think. Thank you. I could
No,
not think of another
I
Jack
actually
Nicholson
have
movie.
not seen that yet.
You'd love it.
I'm sure I would. I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, I love The Shining. It scared the
Shining's
shit
great,
out of me. Seeing the old lady like in the tub, like that just fucked me up.
Even just like the imagery of like the hexagons or whatever on like the carpet and the just the endless hallways and the emptiness and the vastness of the ballroom and this and that. Like it was very well done. And obviously it was Sissy Spacek. That was who was it? Who's that other bird woman?
Oh, who the one that plays the
Yeah.
wife? I know her as Wendy.
I can't, not Sissy Spacek. I
Yeah.
can't remember
Yeah,
her name
no,
either.
no.
She was a little.
She was a shrill bird, but
Yeah.
I mean that was the point, right? She was supposed to be scared out of her mind.
Do you mean
and
bird as in woman or bird like she resembled
Bird
a
is
bird?
resembling the
Okay.
Aryan creature, bird. Bird.
Okay.
Yeah, but I thought it was well done. And then you got Doctor Sleep coming out in a week or two as per posting, and or that week. I don't know.
Yeah, I do want to. I do want to.
I don't think it needs continuing, but sure, whatever.
Because he did make a book called
He did
Dr.
know
Sleep.
Doctor Sleep
Yeah.
was
And I
yeah,
know
legit.
my sister-in-law raves about it. Like she loved the book Dr. Sleep. I mean, if I'm gonna read The Shining, I'm gonna read Dr. Sleep as well, and then
Sure.
I'll do a nice back to back movie.
Excuse me.
Interesting fact, that elevator scene with the blood that was in the trailer, and I believe they had to they weren't allowed to show blood in movie trailers back then, so they had to convince them like it was chocolate syrup or something like
They
that.
probably went like black and white or something like that. I'd imagine. So
No,
like,
I don't
what
think
is
so. It was in
it?
color, and they're like, "Oh, no,
yeah.
it's just chocolate syrup." I forget exactly. I think they said chocolate
Gosh.
syrup, and then obviously
It's cranberry sauce.
Yeah, it was something like that, and so it got past the
Yeah.
ratings board. But
That's funny. That's. I mean, one of my favorite scenes in The Shining is when I don't know, for some reason, like when Jack is in like that massive room where he's trying to write and he's just throwing the handball against the
The
wall.
acoustics, yeah. No,
Yeah,
everything
like
is-
that
yeah,
is
no.
one of my favorite scenes in
It's a well done
cinema.
thing, and I mean, we've heard our thoughts on it, the movie, the remake, and I still think The Shining is probably the best Stephen King adaptation.
Yeah, and then they even did a TV movie of The Shining, where again I know
Did they really?
yes,
Yeah.
where Steven Weber played Jack.
Huh?
I heard a lot of people
Yeah.
said it was better, but a lot of
Probably
people
more
hated
authentic.
it.
I
Well,
guess.
thing was,
Yeah, maybe more
they
book
were
readers.
able.
Okay.
Well, they were able to do more involving the book because it was a TV miniseries.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
they
you can
weren't constricted by
stretch it.
Hollywood
Yeah.
bullshit.
Got you.
And then we did. Let's let's talk about The Stand real quick.
Love the stand.
So do I. I mean, I think you and I, have talked about it several times.
Yeah.
Gary Sinise as Stu is pretty
Perfect.
good. Molly Ringwald as
No.
Franny, not so
Well,
much.
I mean, like, Franny was like such a strong character on her own, and then in the book, she's like, in the movie or miniseries, whatever you want to call it, she's like, "Oh, help me, Stu."
Yeah. Well, first it was "Help me, Howard" or Harold.
Freaking Harold.
Harold, fuck you, Harold. Harold's the worst.
Harold was like
remember
a
any
neck
of
beard
this.
before I'd ever heard of a
Yeah,
neck beard.
yeah.
You know?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did like
Okay.
the musician guy. I'm drawing a blank on his name. The musician, yeah, you know who I'm
Larry.
talking- Larry, yeah, I liked Larry.
Yeah, he was good.
Nadine, not a fan of at all.
She wasn't a great actress. I don't really
No,
get
no,
how she
no.
got that role.
Yeah.
I mean, Molly Ringwald's in it, so who can we say? But
I mean, and now they're doing it on they're doing The Stand remake on CBS All Access.
I'm excited. I really want to see that.
You have James Marsden playing Stu, which is interesting.
Okay.
Whoopi Goldberg as Mother Abigail. She's old enough to pull that off.
She doesn't. I don't know, because Mother Abigail's like this like frail old woman, but she's still so strong. Like I can't really. I don't know.
I can see
have a hard
Whoopi.
time
I can
with
see
it.
Whoopi Goldberg pulling that off. Those are the only two,
Cast members.
yeah,
that you
big
know of?
names that I
I
can
wonder
really
if the original
think of.
Mother Abigail's still alive, because I don't think she was actually that old. I don't think she was that old when they filmed her. I
Really?
think they made her look older, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong.
Movie magic, baby.
Oh, and Alex Skarsgård playing Flag.
Oh, the brother?
Yeah,
Alexander Skarsgård. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
which I think is a very good pick for.
It's
him.
weird because I did like the original Flag.
Sure.
But at the same time, like, he's so, like, Texan. He had a freaking
really
mullet.
was.
He wore all denim, which I think he actually might have worn all denim in the book, if I recall correctly.
Yes, he did.
So it's like that it was directly taken from that, but like when you see it,
Yeah,
but he had a good face though. Like
Yeah, he was spooky.
he was because he had that like
menacing.
menacing like smile.
Yeah.
So he did a good job.
Yeah.
And then that other guy, the guy who was in jail and became like his right hand man, he
Yep.
was really good. He passed away, right?
Yes, he did.
Recently.
That's
He
really
was,
recently,
yeah. And the trash can man was great.
He was really
Do you know
good.
who's gonna play him?
I haven't seen any castings for
Did
him
you
yet.
say somebody weird was in it?
Marilyn Manson's
Marilyn
in it.
Manson.
I got a feeling Marilyn Manson will play the guy that was in jail. Like Flag's right hand guy.
Okay.
I could see him.
that.
I could see that. Yeah, the guy that played the trash can man, that was Max Headroom.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Very cool. I'm
Sure.
definitely looking forward to it. I will probably flip the bill for a couple of months to watch CBS
sure.
All Access.
Yeah, man.
Definitely
else we
looking
got?
forward to it.
We just watched Children of the Corn.
Mm-hmm.
I never read the book, so I can't speak for adaptation, but I thought the movie itself was pretty good.
Yeah.
Except for the little kid who's just like, when the guy throws the Molotov cocktail and he comes back, he goes, "Here, no, you have to throw it in." Dude, this thing's about to blow the
I
fuck
know.
up. Like
I
that,
know.
the first time I ever saw that, I was just like, dude, what are you doing? That shit's gonna blow up and ruin everything. I don't know. Kids
are stupid.
Kids in horror movies bug me. So speaking of kids in horror movies, let's go to Pet Sematary. Did you ever see the original, either of you?
I don't even know what it's about.
I think I did. My older sister might have watched it or something. I don't
Okay,
know.
so Pet Sematary, it is about, I believe this family buys a house, and there's this, like, one of their kids gets destroyed by a semi. Like, because they weren't paying attention.
Oh, right.
They weren't paying attention. It's pretty much like a good solid way of like, hey, be a good parent, you know? Keep an eye on your fucking kids. So then they bring, first I think the family cat dies and they bring them to the cemetery, which is like, you know,
Haunted cemetery.
exactly. It's up on this hill.
Spooky stones and crazy creatures.
And then when the kid gets destroyed by the semi, his name was Gage. Gage, yeah. He the father brings him up to the cemetery and like does like the ritual and whatnot, and you know, and the old groundskeeper's like, "What's dead should stay dead," and it's actually played by in the original it's played by the groundskeeper. He's played by you ever seen My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah.
The judge.
I don't
Oh, the dude who played Herman Munster.
Yes.
Okay.
And in the remake, it's John Lithgow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
can live with that.
exactly. So can I. John Lithgow in anything, I'm cool with. And
Even in you?
huh?
Even in you?
Psh,
It's a good question. It's a good question.
If the money's right, John Lithgow, talking to you, Tommy_Cash.
So if you can get him for a discount.
I'm always on discount.
Don't sell yourself short, Tom.
Hear that, ladies?
I have to sell myself. Never mind. Anyway, so they fucking do this ritual. Fucking kid ends up coming back, but you know the kid's kind of zombified, and he comes back with
When
like
that
you know, also slightly possessed a little bit, and like you know. I'm sure you've seen it, like, you know, the little kid with, like, you know, the scalpel, and he, like, cuts the father's Achilles heel, and then he's just... Yeah, it's... The original, I enjoy. I haven't seen the remake.
Okay.
But, yeah, that just goes again with, you know what, kids in horror movies are the worst.
Sure.
If I'm ever stuck with some annoying little 5-year-old, 6-year-old during the zombie apocalypse, I'm leaving that kid. I'm leaving him behind. Sorry.
Probably for the best.
Exactly. Survival of the fittest, man. I don't gotta outrun the zombies. I just gotta outrun him. And I got longer legs.
Do you?
Yeah, I got these little hooves.
Hooves. Oh my god. What
Alright, so what movie are we going on to next? Stop, please.
I keep twirling the paper
God.
that I wrote down
Our
the movies
notes.
on. Yeah.
Our precious
The
notes.
the notes.
You know, you've read and seen The Green Mile?
I haven't read it, no.
Okay.
See, I have books
Oh.
and I have movies. That's under movies.
All right.
If you cross-reference, you'll see that it's not written under books.
Anyway.
But The Green Mile, not a horror movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I still have yet to see it.
Are you serious?
No, I'm lying.
Okay, good. Because I was about to kill you.
No, I need to see it still.
I know. You really need to watch it. It's
Also, if we're not
fantastic.
talking about horror, Shawshank.
Shawshank
It's
is
incredible.
fucking fantastic. And you know what? Let's just not talk about horror real quick. And I boast this book.
This is Rootober, Tom. What
Would
are
you
talking
just...
about?
Well, okay, look. You guys got your 2 non-horrors in.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
11/22/63. Read it.
Starring James Franco.
I have not seen it yet, so I can't say how the miniseries is.
Okay.
Sure,
Does it have something to do with the assassination of Lincoln?
I think it's just time.
11/22/63 has
Kennedy, baby.
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Unless it was
Hey, I didn't know which 63. And in my
Time
defense,
travel business.
I forgot Kennedy was assassinated.
Kennedy.
Okay, good.
It's cool because it does incorporate a lot of his other stuff.
Okay.
Like
That's what
Derry.
Stephen King is.
Derry
huge
is mentioned, which is pretty cool. Shawshank is mentioned a
Right.
bunch of times. Very, very cool.
Well, if we want to talk
Great
about
story.
stuff that Stephen King references, because obviously a lot of his stuff is intertwined. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Turtle Gods, The Dark Man. You know, the Ghost of Derry. You know,
Randall Flagg, which
Randall
is
Flagg.
Dark
Yeah.
Man,
Yep. Bonnie and I started watching. Literally started.
but, like one episode in.
Castle Rock, which is not a Stephen King. Not a Stephen King work, but based off of his works.
Okay.
And
Part of it takes place
Castle
in...
Rock is a huge part of Stephen King's intertwined universe. Like it's referenced in this thing, and it takes and books take place in this town.
Yeah.
And this one that we're watching right now seems to be a continuation of some sort of like haunting going on in the Shawshank Penitentiary. Obviously, years after the story, Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption, which is the movies based off of. So and it's cool. They have some references. They don't like, hey, Shawshank. Remember Tim Robbins? Remember that movie? They don't
Right.
talk about that.
But they did reference, they were like, oh, you could still see the bullet hole where the guy killed
Where the
himself.
warden killed
Yeah.
himself, like one of the last scenes of Shawshank.
Yeah, that's such a...
Yeah, really cool. Really cool. Check it out. It's on Prime. What's it
Yeah,
on
well,
Prime?
we can't say
Hulu?
check it out, but because we only saw one episode. But so far, it's enjoyable.
I
on
think
Hulu.
we
Even
would
though it
think
has that
with it.
gross old
Hulu.
lady that I hate.
Yeah, well, she
was
Is she
the,
Sissy Spacek?
No, she's not Sissy Spacek. I like Sissy Spacek.
Which gross old lady?
I don't know her name, but I think she was in the at least in the original American Horror Story. I might as well. Look
Oh,
her up.
Barney's mom in How I Met Your Mother.
well,
Okay.
Can't stand that woman. Her face disgusts me.
But you
Her
know
voice
what, though?
disgusts
She
me.
has such a great face for horror.
She does because she horrifies.
But you know what? Like, I mean, she does bring out, like, there's something up with you, like,
That's
all the
true.
time.
And she has that like really sweet voice.
Was she
Yeah.
also Tammy One in Parks and Rec?
No.
Oh,
No.
No.
Tammy One.
But I know what you mean. There's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
similar about
Yeah,
those
yeah,
wax
yeah,
players,
yeah,
but
yeah,
no.
yeah. She-
Behold, the ravages of age. Like that's
Yeah,
the type of face I'm
Tammy
thinking
One
about.
has, like, a foot on her.
Yeah, she's like a foot taller and 20 years
I
younger.
thought you meant like her face, like a foot on her face.
No.
It's just some random movies.
Oh wait, but real quick, sorry. With this Noel Fisher's also in it, and if anybody watches Shameless,
Oh,
you'll
that
recognize
character, yes.
Mickey. And
Yeah.
this time he's on the other side of the law because he is playing a corrections officer rather than
Right.
a criminal. And if you don't watch Shameless, you really should. It's fantastic. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, that was a poke at me.
Tom.
That's Stephen King related.
Yeah, I know. I get yelled at left and right about I should watch this show and that show and this show and that show.
What should the nation watch, Tom? Stephen King related.
Not the Langoliers. I did
I
not.
loved
The
it.
best part about the Langoliers was
The
fucking
credits.
no
That's what I
No.
thought he was going with.
was Cousin Balky.
Balky Balkowski?
Yes,
Oh.
Bronson Pinchot.
I don't remember.
He was like the asshole passenger who wanted to just leave everybody.
Okay.
I never saw the Tommy Knockers.
Neither.
Anyone here? No. Okay.
Cool.
The
Thanks for bringing that up.
Langoliers I saw when I was really little.
It's on Channel 7 TV miniseries, I believe.
Yeah, I saw it when I was really little, so I remember like loving it, and then seeing it again when I was a little bit older, and I was like, "Wow, this looks like shit," but still enjoying it, probably just for nostalgia's sake.
Sure.
And I remember like I really liked that little blind girl, and then when I saw it again, I was like, "I want to kick her."
It's been so long. See, little kids, you want to
She
fucking
wasn't
kick.
that little, but
Okay, I'm gonna go on to my favorite Stephen King movie, Silver Bullet.
Okay.
Nation, you killed it with that post on our Instagram at RudeBoys469. This stars Corey Haim, who plays a child who is in a wheelchair, and Gary Busey, who plays his uncle. Gary Busey makes him this like... Gary Busey is amazing in this, and he makes him like this super motorized wheelchair. It's about a werewolf. There's this church scene where everyone is turning into werewolves in the church, like during a service, and it's just so fucking good. Like, Bonnie, I know we've talked off air. We've talked about some great werewolf transformations.
Yeah.
This movie has some great werewolf transformations.
Nice.
Definitely see it. I own it, so because it comes in a Stephen King collection of like 5 movies. So
Sure.
can I make a segue from that that's not Stephen King related?
Sure.
Speaking of great werewolf transformations, I highly recommend people watch Hemlock Grove on Netflix. It's only 3 seasons. It's very weird.
What you showed
I
me,
know,
I'm like,
I
I'm
know.
out.
The ending was disappointing because it got canceled. I guess it didn't have like a huge audience. It's more like a
Sure.
cult type of thing, but I loved it. It does star Bill Skarsgård, aka Pennywise from the new It film, and he's great.
AKA the boy in Castle Rock.
AKA the boy in Castle Rock. That's right, the one who is not from Shameless.
Sure.
So,
I think he's credited as the boy. That's why I said that.
oh, is he the boy?
Yeah. We wouldn't know that because we've only gotten one
They
episode.
gave, and we only did get one episode, and they kind of
Yeah.
hinted that he might be the devil.
Right.
Or, like, since it is so early on, that could be a red
He could play
herring.
a good
I'm not
devil.
sure.
Yeah, no,
I
he
The
think-
Skarsgårds could play a good devil. Like, even their father could
Yeah,
play
he
a
plays
good
an
devil.
Upier in Hemlock Grove, so that's like a vampire, a European vampire, I guess. His brother plays a vampire in True
I
Blood.
thought you meant a dump here, sorry.
No. His brother plays a vampire in True Blood.
She's not an idiot.
So they get...
Not a lot of people know what a dump here is. Half vampire, half human.
so
Just like Alucard from Pennsylvania.
Or Blade.
Or, not that little awful baby from Twilight because Bella was turned into a vampire at the
Or you can
time.
get punched in the face.
I think she was actually like half... I don't remember the
Well,
details.
didn't she birth as a vampire?
She did, but she wasn't like in gestation as a vampire, so I guess maybe that would make her human. I don't really know how that works, but she didn't like... I don't remember.
Well, did...
And you know what? I don't care to, because Twilight, not a
It's
fan.
Trash. One of the worst ways you can portray a vampire.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair thing to say, but we're talking about Stephen King right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I'll get into vampires soon.
Yeah, we'll get a whole Stephanie Meyer episode later, not sure.
I remember I saw 1408 years ago. I don't remember it very well.
I've never
John
seen.
Cusack, right?
John Cusack,
I've seen
yeah.
this, and Sam Jackson.
Yes, that's right.
I've seen
And a door.
parts of this.
There was a door. Oh my god, you must have seen this movie.
Yeah.
I've
I must
seen-
have seen that door in something else, though. So.
I've seen
Famous
part.
door.
I've seen.
I get doors confused, sorry.
Let Tom speak.
Are you done talking over me?
He's giving us a
Never.
look, and we're sad and
Absolutely
scared.
never.
I know you're not. I've seen parts of this. I need to sit down and actually like watch
I
this.
vaguely remember it was like really quite
It's
fucked
fucking
up.
long, too,
Stephen
from what I've
King,
heard.
But I
Yeah.
think it was based off a short story, but I mean, so
Short
was, Yeah, so was like
story.
Shawshank. But if I recall correctly, I can't remember honestly if I even liked it. I saw it a long time ago, but I know I felt like this movie was different. Like it
Okay.
had something. I just can't remember if it was something good or something bad. I think I did like it, if I recall correctly, but the fact that I've never seen it since and it didn't leave that much of an impression that I really remember anything about it.
Right.
If I do recall, I think it did not have a very happy ending.
It's a Stephen
That's
King.
upsetting.
Ooh.
Another movie that I think didn't have like great reception that I really did actually like is Secret Window. with
Seen
Johnny
it
Depp.
once, yeah.
I saw it in theaters and I've seen it since. I think the actor who played, what the hell was his name?
Oh, the Jesus from Big Lebowski.
Lebowski?
John Turturro, yes. He's actually also in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Okay.
Yes.
He did a fantastic job, I felt, of just being like this creepy kind of backwoodsy type guy. And have you guys seen this movie?
I saw it once.
Did you see it, Chris?
I don't remember.
Well, spoiler alert, if that's all right with this movie.
Sure.
How long did this movie come out?
At least 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe longer.
04.
Yeah, so we're good.
All right. 15 years,
15
too bad.
years. So, spoiler alert, it turns out that Johnny Depp's actually crazy and this guy's in his head.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and in the end, Johnny Depp actually murders his wife and buries her in his garden. Or in his farm, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
underneath
because
Oh, the sequel, Secret Garden.
Oh, yeah,
Because
that's
it's Secret Window / Secret Garden.
what it's called, right?
Yeah,
The story is based off.
4 past midnight, Secret Window, Secret Garden.
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
No, not that.
Way different
Secret
ending,
Garden.
though, I have to say.
Yeah, quite different.
Sheesh,
So
old
yeah,
man.
I do remember. I actually really liked that movie, but I'm not sure if like it was well liked. It didn't. I don't think it got like a great reception.
It has a cult following now. Though.
Oh, does it? Because I remember I actually
Everything's
thought
got
it was
a cult
surprisingly
following.
good, even though it was kind of like the trope of like, oh, it's all in his head is like so
Yeah.
over the top. But like you kind of didn't. I didn't see it coming in this movie. Like I wasn't like, oh, this movie's so predictable. I didn't feel that way at the time.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite Stephen King movie, I would have to say, is Carrie. I mean, The Shawshank Redemption too, but we're talking horror. I would really have to say Carrie. I think they
Yeah.
did such a good job. Like the horror in that movie, like if like on paper the horror is Carrie, she's gonna like kill everybody at prom and go crazy. My dad's been saying that to me my whole life, and I never really understood the reference until I got a little bit older. But like obviously like the horror in that movie is that this like poor girl is bullied at school. She's like abused like crazy at home by her psychotic religious mother. And the woman who played her mother, I think, did a fantastic job, especially at the
Sissy
end
Spacek.
when
No, Sissy Spacek was
He
the
knows.
fucking cat. You're
he knows.
if you Bonnie will give me permission to crack this over your head.
You have my permission.
No!
Just don't damage his beautiful face. That's his moneymaker.
Beautiful
But
face.
You got a face for radio.
Definitely does.
so the scene where Carrie's mom is trying to kill her, which like I think I mentioned
Piper
in the
Laurie.
book, that's Piper Laurie, that's right. In the book, I think she like squeezed her heart with her mind or something, but that's obviously not how this happened. I thought they actually did a better job in this. Because the mom is like attacking Carrie and trying to kill her, and she's like walking down the stairs to that really creepy music, and she's like kind of like she's like prancing and like kind of flowing down the stairs the way she's moving, and it's just so creepy. And she's got this like creepy smile on because she thinks like she's doing God's work, and it was such a menacing scene. And then Carrie releases the knives and like crucifies her mother.
Yep.
And she looks like Jesus on the cross. I actually just thought that was like really artistic and really cool. And then Carrie succumbs to her injuries, and I think the house collapses.
I think you're right.
And then of course the infamous last scene that we discussed, where the girl goes to visit Carrie's grave and her hand shoots up, and it turns out the girl was sleeping. Like I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and we did talk about the remake briefly. Julianne Moore plays the mom.
Okay. Was she a
Yeah.
redhead?
Yeah.
She's
yeah.
never not a redhead. She looks exactly
Yeah.
the same in every movie
I know,
except
I know.
for The Hunger Games. She had silver hair. That's
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's it though.
I mean, I just said my favorite was Silver Bullet. Like, it's just so goddamn good.
What's your favorite, Chris?
I do.
I mean, if we're talking Shawshank, not horror, it
Yeah.
would be, I mean, if we're talking Stephen King, not horror, it would be Shawshank. Horror, like I said earlier, The Shining.
okay.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of the Stephen King movies that I've seen with It, Chapter 1 notwithstanding, it has a certain quality about it that it's like, okay, yeah. Because I'm assuming Stephen King really hit prominence in the 70s and the 80s, and a lot of the budget for that type of movie was just really lacking, especially now for someone who didn't grow up with it. Like, I remember growing up, and I remember seeing It, the movie adaptation starring Tim Curry, and it was fine, but looking back at it, you're like, okay, there's a bit of quality. When you showed me Stan, I'm like, oh, God, this is rough.
Yeah.
And,
I like the Stan
but
TV
they all
miniseries.
had like that standard quality. Like, it's weird. Like, we want to talk about Marvel movies nowadays. Like, if they were to do like a Stephen King cinematic universe, all that quality pretty much matched up pretty well.
Yeah.
So that was great. I mean, again, at that point, The Shining then stood out. But what are you gonna do?
They are talking about redoing
I forgot where I was doing.
Salem's Lot. They're talking about redoing.
Oh, good.
And I think Robert Rodriguez is on board, or James Wan is on board to be the producer.
That's cool.
He did the Saw movies,
Okay.
the first two, I believe.
Also did
I did forget.
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
I forgot to mention Christine.
Christine,
I've seen that.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's a good
Christine,
movie.
I
It's not
just-
great.
Yeah, by
Movies.
any stretch of the imagination, it's not great.
car that's trying to kill you? I'm Stephen King.
He loves his cars.
There-
He really does.
There is there's like a few Stephen King things that I've never seen nor read, but I really want to. For example, I've never seen Misery.
Yeah.
I know the general idea. Like I don't know how it ends or anything like that, but
I know Kathy Bates is amazing.
I
in it.
think she won.
never seen
I
that.
think she won an
Supporting
Academy
Actress
Award.
or something
Yeah.
like that. Probably.
I've always really wanted to see that one. I've never seen it.
You've seen it.
I have not seen it.
You have seen it.
What are you talking? What? Oh my God! Shut up! It. I have never seen Misery. I've known Misery for about 10 years.
Oh,
That's funny because we've been dating for 10.
Oh, you make her
Wow.
miserable.
Well, I don't think it's getting any better than that.
Oh, we didn't talk about Gerald's Game.
Oh yeah, I do know the
Yeah.
premise. I've never seen it.
Oh, I thought you guys did see it.
No, we didn't. We
No?
wanted to.
No.
Nobody else did.
No. I thought you guys saw it when it first dropped on Netflix. No.
No, it looks interesting though, so I am interested in that
It,
one. I do know the
you should.
premise.
It's the mom from Hill House.
Yeah.
Right. Sissy Spacek.
Oh my God. I can't.
Look
I
at
can't.
his butt. He must be one of those rap star girlfriends. Sorry, Chris is a barrel bottom.
Oh Jesus. I've always wanted to read The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, which I believe
Okay.
is about a little girl. My dad was telling me about it years ago.
About
he really enjoyed
baseball.
it. No, it's about like a little girl who like gets lost in the woods by herself.
I'd have to say.
No, it's about it's about a baseball player, I think.
Right.
I think it's about
I
like
think in case you had the bat. This is a different show. Different movie.
So anyway, I think it's about a little girl who's like lost in the woods by herself and has to figure out how to survive, something like
Okay.
that. So that sounds pretty interesting.
He
to
did
me.
write Stephen King did write segments in I don't know if you guys ever saw the anthology Creep Show.
I don't remember. We might have seen it. I can't remember. I do love anthologies.
Anthologies are great. Firestarter. Firestarter, I've only seen parts of. I do want to see all of it. Cujo, you should definitely check out. Actually, no,
Probably not Bonnie.
no, yeah, Bonnie, no, Bonnie, don't watch Cujo.
Bonnie no Cujo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess there's pain to animals or something else.
I'd have
Well,
to
no,
say
it's
so.
a dog gets rabies and
Oh, don't talk anymore.
he starts
And he's still talking.
he pretty much traps this mother and this son in a car, and every time they try to get out, he goes after them.
Isn't that similar to what happened to in the stands to Larry? I forget. Somebody was being attacked by wolves in that. I can't remember who it was, but like they were like hiding. I don't remember.
Did you guys ever see The Mist?
No.
Watch that.
Actually, that's one of the things that I heard Stephen King said he loved the ending so much that he
Oh my
wishes
God.
he'd written it. 'cause,
That
like, the
shit
movie was
fucked
different.
me up.
I do unfortunately know the ending.
Okay. That sucks.
I know, because like it's just one of those things that I think I found it on like a BuzzFeed article or something.
Right,
like movies
right,
with
okay.
shocking endings.
You guys should definitely watch In the Tall Grass.
I do. I really want
That's
to.
a novella that him and his son Joe Hill wrote.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would have loved to watch that the other night when I gave you 3 options to choose from. And you outvoted me.
I was up for anything. I don't want to hear shit.
I know. I'm talking to you, Brennan.
Oh, called out.
Brendan doesn't listen.
Yeah,
We
he
love
don't
you, Brennan,
listen.
but you know.
He doesn't listen.
No one listens.
You listen, Rude Nation.
I don't even listen, even when I'm
doesn't
on
listen.
it.
Yeah. I don't listen either.
Just
don't
download.
worry.
Don't listen. Like all the social media
hold on.
stuff.
How come you tell them to download and don't listen, but you yell at me for not listening?
Because you need to do some research, guy. Okay, you got to stop playing this
Wouldn't they have
Hollywood
had
one
to
shot
already
motherfucker.
downloaded it by now in order to hear you tell them to download it?
You're absolutely right.
So it's kind of like unnecessary.
Counterintuitive?
Yeah.
It's download, don't listen. So anyway, we're gonna throw it back to
If we get 500 listeners, Tom's gonna do a strip tease for y'all.
a reverse striptease. I'm gonna come out naked and put clothes on.
Yes.
Because that's what the ladies
So every
really
new
want.
every new subscriber we get, Tom puts an article of clothing on.
Right? Yeah, I mean, until this episode hits 500 likes, I'm going to be walking around buck-ass naked. Work's going to be awkward on Monday.
And if we get 1,000 listeners, Channing Tatum has promised to come on the show and suck off the rude boys under the table. So
Hopefully not this glass table, because
the glass
that would be
table.
weird.
The glass table. So the more listeners you can get, the better.
The more listeners, the more sucky you guys get to hear.
From
Yeah.
Channing Tatum, he has
There's
promised.
usually a lot of sucky on this show. But for that, yeah, we're gonna wrap it right there and send it to the host with the mosts, the Rude Boys back in the past.
Who have the ghosts.
Oh, thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Sherm. Thank you, Tom. In the future, past, present. We're back in the real world, in the real time. As far as we know, unless this is some parallel universe where the mind's eye of a turtle. Who knows? But
Turtle.
all I can say is that on this note,
Turtles?
that's it. That's it for you boys. We're done with this episode of the Rude Boys Power Hour Plus. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed our Stephen King talk. As much fun as we think we had. I don't know yet. We'll find out. I think it'll go pretty good. I think it went pretty well.
Jesus.
I think it is pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes. Next episode, like we've mentioned before, is going to be our Rudetober recap that we do every year. And by every year, I mean just last year. But Rudetober's a thing. Get used to it. Motherfuckers, hit us up on our social media. Give us any sort of your Rudetober memories. Anything. Maybe you like to do something. Maybe you like to play a Resident Evil game. Or you like to watch scary movies or something like that. Or you like to go trick-or-treating. Like, let us know.
I like doing all those things.
Right? Because Rudetober is a great time of
I
year.
also like watching horror movies and pizza.
Pizza, I feel like, could be year-round. But I like where your head's at with everything else. All right?
Oh, good. I can sleep
See,
tonight.
you said that already.
Yeah, I said it again. Get the fuck over it. Motherfucker.
Our social media accounts are as follows.
Bourbon makes me angry.
Yeah, it really does.
I don't like it.
Twitter.com/RudeBoys469. Facebook.com/RudeBoys469. Instagram.com/RudeBoys469. I have to give props. Our social media accounts over on Twitter and Instagram have been crushing it with the Rudetober stuff. We've done, our first week is all zombies. Our second week was all Stephen King. Our third week hasn't happened yet. As per recording. Ooh, spooky. What's our third week going to be, Tom? Or what is our third week right now?
Monsters.
Monsters, which you already knew about because you followed us on all these fucking social media accounts. Please follow us, like, subscribe, do all this other stuff. We want you. Speaking of YouTube, we have YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube
We
account.
got a YouTube account, yeah, Tom.
Well, fuck me, Ronnie, and call me Susie.
So you can find that at bit.ly/rudeboysrudetube, and that's all lowercase. And please subscribe to our content because we love doing that kind of stuff for you, nation.
Yeah!
Over on the Podbean network, that's where we have our wonderful podcast, the Rude Boys Podcast Network. That's where that is set up, and that is at rudeboys.podbean.com.
Flick that red balloon bean.
All of our podcast episodes also can be achieved, I don't know,
Yeah.
over at the Apple Podcast, the Google Play, Stitcher, on YouTube, on Podbean, anywhere you can get a fantastic or really garbage podcast. I'm sure we're there too, somewhere in that mix. But let us know. Let us know where you want to hear us, and we will do our best to get to your ears. We want to just penetrate those beautiful holes in your face.
Just fucking all holes filled.
Yep. If you want to talk to Tom about that, he's at Tommy_Catch with a K.
Yeah.
Where am I? Where can people find me, Tom?
You can get him on Twitter.
Him.
You get Chris on Twitter at TEH_Sherms SHREMS.
Oh, no. ERMS.
Oh, come on. Dyslexia kicked in.
It really did.
Son
I was there for it, too.
Son of a bitch.
A real spooky moment, if I do say so
I
myself.
feel like someone entered my body.
Like a ghost? Like you got a ghost blow from
Patrick
a
Swayze.
ghost? I was doing a Ghostbusters reference, but okay. I bet someone busted that ghost. And we're done.
And that nut?
Oh, nation, I'm sorry. Trick or treat.
I'm not.
Welcome to Halloween. And enjoy the rest of Rootober.
And you'll float too!
This has been a presentation of the Rude Boys Podcast Network.
Oops.